Hey, Ed here from 10,000 Foot View, and I've got another Google Ads quick tip for you today. So one of the things we do at my agency, and I guess it's a little bit controversial, is we use pinning in our RSAs pretty extensively, meaning every headline gets pinned and some descriptions selectively get pinned. And we do have a rationale for that, and some other agencies do this as well. And really, what it's about is getting the ads to show up in a logical order in terms of the headlines, and also reducing the number of impressions that are required to actually allow Google to test the ads. So, if you happen to use all the headlines and descriptions that are available to you, Google will have hundreds of thousands of ad combinations to test. And you can appreciate that in small business accounts, there's no way Google's ever going to be able to test that many combinations, statistically speaking. And the truth is that Google tends not to run certain ad copies very much. And you'll see this if you look at your impressions reports, that often some of them just kind of get ignored. And that's because um, Google will tend to favor your headlines and descriptions that contain keywords. And if they don't contain keywords, Google just won't run them that much. So by pinning selectively and strategically, you can kind of force Google to actually test most of your creatives. It's still not 100%, but you will see an uptick because you'll have fewer ad combinations that Google has to go through. Um, so again, this ad, just a sample ad that, you know, if we were to run an ad for my agency today, this might be something that I put together. Did it very quickly. Um, and so we can actually see examples here that I don't like. So this, again, this is unpinned, right? And we can see this headline is get a complimentary audit and then Google Ads Premier Partner. So it's not horrible. But I would never really want the first headline to be here, right? I mean, I'd much rather have this one, the call to action, second. And this doesn't really convey a lot of information, to be honest. So, what we do at my agency is we reserve the first headline position for the main offer or unique value proposition. And we will sometimes put the brand in there if it's a branded campaign, because that's, essentially that's matching your keywords and what people are looking for. And so that's what we put in position one. So if we were to go through this list of headlines, this would be a position one, right? Because it's clearly kind of what you're offering. This one probably wouldn't be because it's a brand and this is not a branded campaign. But this one would be in position one, right? Google Ads Specialist. And so there you go. So now these should show up in position one. Um, and now on to the next one for the second headline. What we will do is we will focus on secondary features and benefits. So this one would fit in here. Sorry, this one would not. 10,000 foot view in this case would be in position two. More customers in about a week. This one and this. So these are all kind of features and benefits that are secondary to the main offer or the main statement, right? Value proposition. And then the last thing in position three is your call to action. So there's two of them here. There's this one and this one. And there you go. So importantly now, if we start to look at the example ads, they will all make sense. They will all have a main offer or value proposition first, and then they will have some secondary feature benefit. And in the case where three headlines are running, they will have a call to action. And the reason we put the call to action in the third position is because it's not critical content. It's a very nice to have if you can run it. But we always actually put the call to action in at least one description And then with the description, we will take this one that has a call to action and we'll put it, we could put it here, or we could put it in position two. I usually put it in position two. So you see the call to action last. And that's kind of it. And so again, what you've done now is you've organized all of the creatives in a way that they make sense for the user. And you've also dramatically reduced the number of combinations that Google has to test, which is great in a smaller account where, you know, you're not sending thousands of clicks through this ad every day. So you're not going to have to wait 25 years for all the variations to be tested. So, again, this is a bit controversial. Google says you should just leave everything unpinned and let Google figure it out. But the truth is, when we look at ad combinations that Google serves, they aren't great. So I find this to just perform a lot better. That's it for today. We'll see you next time.